Well, hello there, stampers, card makers, and all you jolly people who love to join me on a live and after. Thank you so much for coming along. So today I had a little bit of a think, and I've been thinking about this for a little while. How can I record in a helpful way that's shareable the templates, particularly for fun fold cards, but possibly other types of cards? And so I'm going to try something new, and hopefully you will find it helpful. I'm sure I will get feedback on this. And so the aim of what I'm about to show you is that you can build up a kind of library of card templates that you can replicate and use with whatever papers, with whatever stamped one sheet wonders, whatever cardstock, whatever dies, punches, whatever, in the future. But you have that basic template to refer to, and you have the measurements like there, like that, you know. So it will require that you have the Stampin' Up! Grid paper though. All right, this is the plan, because I presume this is the same in other regions. The Stampin' Up! Grid paper comes in centimetres and inches, and I do appreciate that I'm speaking to an audience, a mixed audience of various preferences, whether you're imperial, metric, or in between, or, you know, on a sliding scale, depending what you're doing. Some people only sew in metric, but, you know, I don't know, make jewellery in, you know, another form. So that it's the ongoing challenge of being a crafter into today's modern society. We have to deal with two languages of measurement. But there we go. We can face these things, you know. In the immortal words of Glynis Johns, bless her heart, she passed and left this mortal coil a week ago, was it? Glynis Johns, the wonderful Mrs. Banks. Shoulder to shoulder into the fray, our daughters will adore us and shout out in grateful chorus. Right, hello everybody. All right, I'm in a jolly mood, obviously. Quite excited, I think, to show you this idea, and I'm hoping it's going to work, because I think it will make things easier for you. Right, I'm not going to say hello to everybody in the live. I'm just going to say hello everybody. You are all very, very welcome. Great to see you all. Let's make sure my desk is working. It is. My sound is working. No one's complaining that they can't hear me. I did double check my system requirement, my system input, and it was at 80%. So I'm glad I checked. I put it up to 100%. So there we go. You should be able to hear every word. There we go. Right. So I'm going to go over a couple of cards I made today in my class. So I had an in-person class today. Hello everybody who was there. I know some of you do watch my channel. You know, I can't keep anything hidden from them, because, you know, some of them do watch. So I came up with a bit of it's not a silly fun fold, but a fun fold that incorporates a 3D element. So it's a typical tent fold card. I'm a bit of a fan of the old tent fold, and I'll tell you for why. It's because if you put anything of any weight on the front of the card, it's more likely to stand up. Whereas if you create a side folding card, and you've got a bit of weight on it, it's more likely to tip over. And the second reason is because people sometimes have like pieces of string or something in their houses to display cards on, and it just makes sense that you then slip that over the piece of string or whatever to hold up. Whereas if it was a side one, then you'd have to turn your head to look at the card. So I know some people prefer to have cards that do the other way, because I think some people find that these slide on shiny surfaces, but I'm not one of those people. So you've got a croak left. Oh dear, Martina, don't speak then, don't speak. All right, so this card was made using some of the fabulous celebration papers. What's it called? I think it's called something like Toolkit. Hold on, let me just check the name of it. It's got a variety of tool shed type themed paper. It's called Trusty Toolbox. There we go, Trusty Toolbox. And a couple of the sheets two of the designs, so that's 4 sheets, have whole pages of cuttable objects, tools, so forth. So it's not just for guys, you know, there's plenty of us girls who know how to use tools. There's also one of them that has a paintbrush, which is quite good. But I'm quite good with the old hammer, you know, putting up some pictures, nails. I'm good at making holes in walls. And so I wanted this sort of like interesting 3D element. And all it is just like it's a cube really. Well, a length of cubed cardstock, very easy. And you then stick some elements on the front of it. The only thing to be aware of is that when you stick it together, you need to make sure that, and when it folds flat, you need to make sure it doesn't protrude from the actual card itself, especially if you're using a long column like this. I mean, you can use a shorter one, that's not a problem. If you want to. And I thought it would be fun to sort of have a think about other things that you could place on top. I've just put 2 circles, but you could make this very floral. You could make it, you know, have a butterfly on it, do whatever. But what I wanted to do and focus on tonight was the idea of recording these designs in a way that we can access the information in the future. So I'm just going to grab, I've got some grid paper here. Now this grid paper was actually used, oh, I punched through 2 pages today. It was actually used today in a class. So some of them have got little bits of ink on, but I don't mind repurposing. So I have one of the kits here that wasn't used. So I'll make the card with you. Oh, she says, but no paper in that one. Oh, a bit odd. Hold on. See if I've got a spare one. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. I'll just have to cut myself another one. So my card base is half of an, typically it's, I usually do half of an A4 piece of card. There we go. And then do the matting layer at 10 centimetres by 14.3-ish, thereabouts. So there we go, that's my matting layer to go on there. And the mechanism part of this is really easy. Basically, I got a length of, this is grey granite, if for those of you who are interested. And this is 14 centimetres long. And then I scored every 2 centimetres, so got 2, 4, 6, 8, and then I cut at 9.5 centimetres. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue that together after I've popped that little piece of DSP on there. Now, before I glue it together though, what I want to do is record the elements of this for posterity. Not really, just so that I can refer to it again. So I'm thinking if I use obviously a bit of this grid paper and just record all the different elements by just placing them on like so, I can then use that in the future, or I don't even have to keep this piece of paper. What I can do is just take a photograph, and that can be shared easily. I can share it on Artful Stampin Space or with my team who are you know, wanting ideas and want to be able to access a bank of ideas. So I'm going to get my Sharpie, and I'm hoping it's one of the Sharpies that still has ink in, otherwise I'm going to have a problem. There we go. I'm going to add to there. And then also it means that what I'm going to do is do an inches version of this. Now I'm not going to start doing this for every single video that I do. However, I'm wondering how helpful it would be for me to do this for all the fancy fold ones that I do. So it'll kind of be like the extra at the end of a video for those of you who want to kind of keep this information for future reference. And so yeah, I'm wondering if that would be helpful. Now I don't have to draw the actual this bit exactly. The reason why I'm drawing it is so that it's so much easier for me to write the measurements later, to count the measurements and do them later. Sticky notes with the dimensions on the pieces works well. Yes, that's a good idea. And then take a photograph of that. Yes, I agree, Ida. But I was wondering if this, because some people like to have something tangible, don't they? And you know, if you're someone who doesn't just want the photographs, but actually wants to be able to look at something and go, okay, that's what I need, then this would be a good way of doing that. Right, I've lost the grey bit. Where's my little grey bit gone? Oh, falling down. There we go. So, just gonna do that to there, that to there, that to there, that to there. I know I've got a notch out of this ruler. Don't know when oh, I know what. I think I probably stuck my chair on it. That's what sometimes happens. Right, the way I record cuts and scores is that scores are recorded by dashed lines, like so, and cuts are recorded by full lines. Okay. Now I'm drawing on that thicker line that's on the grid paper, but hopefully the dash will make it obvious what I'm doing here. And then I've got, well, I don't think I need to record the fact I've done an embellishment. I think the embellishment is kind of like optional, isn't it? So we'll leave that at that. So this one, I would put the measurement, which would be 29.7. So this would be 29.7 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters, and then this should be a score, not a cut. And then this would be 14.2 by 10 centimeters. This would be 14 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. There we go. So that way I can either keep this card with my folded up piece of paper in a folder and then be able just to look at that and go, right, that's what I needed for this card. Or I just keep this and maybe take a photograph and maybe stick it on here and keep it. So using this transcript that YouTube does after 24 hours is a good reference. Oh yeah. I like the way Rachel Tessman has a show sheet for her cards and projects too. Okay, I'll go and watch these people. Yeah, I was partially inspired by Lisa Freeman because I like the way that she sets out all her card pieces before she makes a card. But I was saying to I was talking to my sister about this, that my problem is sometimes is that I don't actually know what I'm going to make until I make it. So how do I combat that one? So I was thinking that if I do make a fancy fold at the end of the video, if I do this to record it, it's only taken like a few minutes, then I can keep a record of it then. Because sometimes I'm just working things out as I go along, like last night I kind of made a boo-boo. Yeah, so then also I would want to record this in inches for those of you who do use inches, and because I know that your cardstock is 8.5 by 11, I would actually then make I could theoretically make an allowance for that, or just give you the British measurements. So I don't know. I'm open to suggestion on that one. So I could actually even record two types of measurements here. So I've got the UK measurement, which really I could just flip it over and tell you what it is in inches. I could measure that. That's what I could do actually, and just keep this side for those of you who would be doing it using 8.5 by 11. So if you're using 8.5 by 11, then 4, 5, 6, 4, what am I saying? 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, you see your cardstock finishes there. So already that causes a slight problem in that this section this bit would need to be a little bit shorter. So let me design this as if I was using 8.5 by 11. So we'll go 8, and so this would be 4.25, wouldn't it? And you would want to score at 5.5. So that would be your card base, and then your matting layer would be 5.25 by 4. So that would be your matting layer. So obviously I'll need to reduce the size of the scored element. So I would take that down to 5 would be too much. 4.5 maybe. So take that down to 4.5. So I know this might seem a little bit simplistic or a little bit monotonous, but for those of you who are planning or already do workshops with folk, then I'm hoping that you might find this as a kind of like a helpful thing to do. So let's have a look what the closest measurement would be on this. So you're looking at 3/4 of an inch. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then cut at that point there. All right, so this would measure 11 by 4.25, and then this would measure 5.25 by 4. This would measure 4.5 by 3.5. There we go. So I'll put here US card size. All right. Right. Then you could keep all the fun folds in a playlist for us to find. Yeah, I could do. All you have to do is post measurements and score lines. I know, but some people are visual learners. Yeah, and it's like they need to see it. Then it's not enough to do like the measurements. But what I could do is just all I need to do is take a snapshot of this then for every video. And if I get back in the habit of blogging, or if anyone wants to blog for me, I would just take a photo of this and attach that and put it on my blog with the link to the video. So that's maybe something I need to get back in the habit of doing, is to blog more regularly so that you can find, you know, because there's no reason why I shouldn't just take a photo of this and stick it on my blog, basically. All right, so let's make the card, everybody. I'll stop faffing around now with this. So what I did to get a little bit of a kind of grungy effect along this paper, because you know me, I can't be doing with just a plain bit of paper. I've got to put a bit of grunge in there. I used a couple of stamp sets. I'm just going to go and grab them. The Notes of Nature one has got some really lovely grungy elements, and also the of Art and Texture. I can still never get used to that name. Of Art and Texture. And I used a nice dark grey, so I used a quite basic grey, or you could use Pebbled Path if you've got it. And I just could not cope with just such a plain background. I just thought, yeah. And to be honest, if I was making this sort of privately, I would probably actually have added a little bit, like a bit of extra inking, but because this was in a class situation, I didn't want to give them too much to do. Ironically, though, those of you who did come to class, it was a really quick class today because everyone just seemed to whip through all their projects so quickly today. Sometimes we can be there for ages because I've accidentally given them too much to do. But this week, I don't know, they were just on it. They just got on. So, yeah, we got through quite quick today. By the way, I like the new schedule system we implemented. Great. What was that? What was my new schedule? Oh, scheduling system. What, with my booking? Yeah, right. Now I need to talk about upcoming classes and what different people would like, because I'm in the wonderful position of being able to offer some new, obviously some slightly newer classes, and there are stuff that I know you guys would like me to do. But there are also some new folk to my channel who probably would appreciate doing classes that I have been offering for a few years. I said, oh, a few years. Well, I was going to say 2 years, but it's, you know, I think after 2 you can say few, can't you? So I didn't know whether to offer things like class 1, which is the kind of introduction to whole sheet stamping, one sheet wonder stamping. Also the wreath stamping. So I'm just going to have to take a bit of a show of hands really as to, you know, who would be interested in doing class 1. There's also the watery ink class, which is quite fun. I did have a few of you interested in doing a technique class with the shimmer white cardstock that we used to stock. Unfortunately, we don't stock it anymore, but some of you were like, I've got some that I want to use. Easter cards and Valentine's cards. Oh, actually, we did talk about doing an Easter stamping. We were going to do a masked cross. Right, okay. I will schedule, I'll put that in the schedule. Now, I appreciate not everybody really celebrates Easter. Well, I mean, we all like to eat chocolate, put it that way. Well, again, I shouldn't make such sweeping statements, but most of us like to eat chocolate, whether you celebrate Easter or not. Right, there we go. I quite like that. Nice and grungy. So that is going to be stuck onto there. Then I have a little red circle. You know what? I'm going to grungy this up too. So this is like the grunged up version. For those of you who, like I said, went to my class this morning, this is going to be the grunged up version of this card. Oh, I need to stamp out a piece of, or punch out a piece of white cardstock. Is that white? Yeah, well, it's white to me. Now, apologies, I am actually using a couple of retired punches here, so I probably should, oh no, that's too small. Probably should record the circle punches that I've used, but like I said, you can embellish this in whatever way you fancy. You don't have to do it the way I've done it. What was I going to stamp on here? I don't think that's going to fit, is it? Hello, no, that's not going to fit. Anyway, I'll grungy it up and go from there. Easter, blah, blah, blah. Yes, please, to the masterclass. Okay, so that means it's going to be a Friday night one, yeah? All right. Chalks. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, chalks. Ooh. Ooh. Cecilia. I have to admit, I'm not super confident with chalks. I know I have used them on lives, and it might look like I know what I'm doing, but I'm not sure I feel confident enough to, unless you can, unless you can look back on some of my videos and go, yeah, Ruth, you do know what you're doing because you did this. I have to, Cecilia, I'm going to have to take some persuading on that one. Oh, take care, Christine. Lovely to see you. Yes, I have made that cross. Yeah, thank you, Vicky. So Vicky's just showing when I actually stamped that one. So that is what I'll be teaching. Right, so I've grungied that. I do have someone left in my class a couple of these things that they'd already cut out. So I was going to cheat and use those tonight, although I've gone and lost them. Oh, they were here a minute ago. Oh, they've disappeared. All right, I'm just going to have to cut something fresh out and dropping stuff. Oh, my knife. I've got a bit of a mountain of stuff at the side of me that's facing the wrong direction. It's just wanting to fall off my table rather than fall onto me. All right, let's cut out a couple of these. Oh, look at that pencil. I love it. Oh, now, funny enough, I have red pliers. Oh, I didn't cut that out a bit too close. I actually have a pair of red pliers, although these look like trimmers, but this is very nostalgic for me to cut this out. Right. I do like cutting these out. They're really easy. There's no kind of like complicated bits to cut out for these. All right. Yep. Yep. Oh, she's sitting in the garage. Oh no. The light's going out. What about more stamp specific classes? Yep. I can do that. Is there any particular stamp sets you want classes on? In the mini or in the annual? I mustn't ignore the annual. Oh, I like that. I like the pencil as well. Oh dear, Mary's sitting in the garage at the moment. Oh, yeah, you guys have had a lot of storms. We've had a lot of rain recently. I mean, there are places that have been majorly flooded in the UK. And then May showed me the weather forecast for the next few days. She said, oh, snow is coming. So, and we're hoping, well, I'm hoping it's not going to affect our weekend plans. We're actually planning to go to see Esther and her family because her son is getting baptized. So that's going to be fun. So hopefully, you know, we'll see some of our family members there. Perennial lavender is sweetness of nature. Now, sweetness of nature is one that I didn't get. Is that the one with the... vanilla pods, the cacao pods. Oh, the florist dies. Yes. Testosterone Tuesday. Yes, it is a bit testosterone Tuesday today. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yes, maybe I should have saved this for Masculine Monday. No, the focus I wanted to have was more on the layout. And if I'm feeling up to it, what's the time? 30 minutes in. If I'm feeling up to it, I was going to do a more sort of pretty version of this, just to show you how versatile this this pattern is, or this layout is. Maybe do it with a couple of those nice butterflies. Right, so I need one of these. Oh, there's the bit. Oh no, that's the spare bit. Right, now I need to find. Oh, I think I'm going to have to cut myself a piece. Oh, I tell you what else I can draw on here. Sorry, on my template is I didn't draw the piece that is going to be stuck on the pop-up section. I didn't record that. So let me. Oh no, it's not 2 centimeters. Oh, it's 1.5. I mean, you could do it at 2 centimeters if you wanted to. If you don't want it to have a border. But I want to show you it as I did it. And I'm going to cut that at 13.5. Right, what's the width between the dotted lines on the right? Dotted lines. Which dotted lines, Mary? In one of the stamps it says something about measuring up. Oh, does it? What, one of the... Oh. What happened there? Oh, I did it 13.5. Okay, right. I'm sure I said it should be 14. Oh, I did 14.5. Okay. Right, so a tip for those of you who do run classes, I spent the time yesterday writing glue and DSP onto this strip so that people wouldn't make a mistake, because I know how frustrating it is if you do make a mistake in a class. So I just, yeah, I wrote it on. Because, you know, it's not nice when you go to a class and then if you know, perhaps you're distracted and you get something not quite right, and then it's just, oh, frustrating. Right, so I've got my little cubey thing. Oh, it's a completely different set. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Kim, I know, they are beautiful. Right, so what you need to do is once you get your glue on, you actually need to squish this, because you want to make sure that the edges clear the card, especially the base. You do not want it protruding from the base, otherwise you're going to have a rocking card or a fall-overy card. You don't want that. So you need to make sure that when you stick it on, it's flattenable, and then you can pop that up. Use your bone folder just to really tell the card what you want it to do. Okay, there we go. And then when you come to stick your little bits, however way you want to stick them, you've also got to make sure that these do not protrude out too far. So because of that, I kind of stuck my bigger circle to the left here, like that, and then this circle a bit more to the right, so that I knew that when it was flattened it would all fit on perfectly fine. So I'm going to put a little bit of, oh, there's a bit much glue, but let me pick up a little bit for my, there we go, put that on there like that, hold that, give that a bit of time to settle. Right, I do need to put a sentiment on this, and I'm procrastinating really. Just need a tiny little one. Having just a quick look at my sentiments. What I've got. Oh. You know what? I'm going to be really general and just do to you. Yeah, I know that's really boring, really generic, but that's what it's gonna be. All right. To you. Right, so there we go. What's the temperature with you? -12. Oof! Ooh! That is low. Right, let's stick that on somewhere. Where's my little pencil? Oh, I forgot to put mine on, Martina. But I think I'm benefiting from, I pulled out an old pair of slipper, well, they're not slippers, they're like slipper boots that I didn't wear last winter season, and they are particularly warm, so I think I'm kind of, my feet are feeling okay. But I have taken to wearing an extra jumper in my craft space sometimes. All right, so there we go. So that's that design done. And I just need to add to this before I take a photograph and share it, the measurement then for the little piece that gets stuck onto here. So if I draw that, so this is the inches one. So if I, oh no, not with that one is totally dried up. Stick that one in the bin. So so if we go to there, just do 1/2 inch. So that would be 4 1/4 by 1/2 an inch. DSP card, DSP card. Oh, I did draw this wrong. You know what? I think it would be better at 13. Oh no, it'll be fine at 14. It does work at 14, but obviously you can change that up if you want to. Just gonna do that and get rid of that there. There we go. Oop, that little boo-boo there. Get rid of that. Okay, so this one I do need to draw 13 by 1.5. Sorry, 13.5. 13.5 centimeters by 2.5. No, 1.5. Oh, I love this stuff. 1.5 centimeters. All right. So I will take a photo of that, everybody, and put that with this video in Artful Stampin' Space. So if you don't know what Artful Stampin' Space is, please do go check it out. It's a Facebook group where you can find, I do share all my videos on there. And then, what's that I was going to say? Share all my videos on there, and you can share what you make as well. So I was just trying to think of a super duper easy way for me to then make an alternative. So I'm just going to tidy my desk for a couple of seconds. Just get rid of some stuff onto my other desk. You know, the one that's below me. And think about then doing some kind of pretty design. Just see if I've got a stamp one sheet wonder that I can use up. Always got loads of those. So I need something big enough to cover quick look through. Oh, that'll do. That's from about a year or so ago. And let's have a think. If we put that on a kind of nice pink card base, nice bit of melon mambo there. And if I have a nice bit of something greeny as the panel, so let's go for a bit of soft sea foam. Hey Susan! I've just seen Susan come on. Lovely to see you. Oh my darling, I've missed you. Right, this time I'm just going to go for a 10 centimeter height cube. So I'm just going to show you how I score that. So I literally just put it in at 2 centimeters. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Cut at 9.5. Done. All right, so that's how you create that lovely cube there. Now, oh, I'll need that back because I don't need all of this. So I'm going to cut that at 10. Actually, I better cut a bit off this one. I'm trying to think if I cut this in such a way. Cut that at, no, if I cut that at, I want a little piece to pop onto here, you see. So I just need to cut off 1.5 centimeters. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take that down to there. Cut off 1.5. Because then I can use that piece for that. What am I left with? 13.5. All right, let's take you down to 13.5. Take you down to 9.5. And then take this down to 14. Have a look. I was thinking of double mounting this. So just because I can. So what was that? 13. So I'll go for 14. By 10. All right. Yeah, so we'll double mount that just to add an extra bit of pizzazz. And that's going to be my little mechanism. So what did I say that was? 10. So I'll take that down to 9.5. Actually, I probably want more green than I do want anything else. So I'll take that to 9.5. And if I can get my hands on those beautiful butterflies, I think it would be nice to have some butterflies sitting on here. What do you think, everybody? Oh, Miss Andrea, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. But just a reminder, there are lots and lots of beautiful videos. Oh, look at that. Videos from Ruth to see it with the possibility to leave comments and thumbs ups. Thank you. Right. Yeah, so that was actually stamped during a class and class 1. So if you like this design and you want to have a go at learning the principles of how to recreate this design, then please let me know if you're interested in doing class 1. So Easter is a little bit early this year, isn't it? It's on the end of March. So I will look at some dates maybe towards the end of Feb then to do a Easter stamping. And what's the other thing you wanted to do? I can't see anyone's commenting about wanting to do class 1. Right, there we go. So for those of you who don't, I don't know if Martina remembers, Susan is in my team. Martina was in my team. So yeah, Susan is one of my lovely team members. Right, so burnish your little filts like so. And then you always stick the DSP in the central one. So you end up with 5 sections, one being slightly smaller than the other. I would take class 1 again if and only you had the room. Wow. I'm happy to do that. That would be one I would be happy to schedule midweek, because I know there are some folk on here that can only do Fridays, but I know that person, I think, has already done it. Well, mind you, Kim's already done it as well. But, so I put a bit of glue on there. Vicky for Easter class. All right. So if I do that one on a Friday night, I mean, I could try and schedule that one for 8 o'clock to make it a little bit more Aussie friendly. Right, now because this one is a shorter one, I can actually stick that completely horizontally. Whereas the other one, because it was longer, oh no, the longer one I could have done horizontally as well. I just like the look of it being off. Right, so let's try and stick this roughly in the middle. So, but in the middle means when it's opened in the middle. I'm going to take that to there. If you're ever wondering, you know, when you're placing something and especially this sort of size, whether you're better to have a space at the top or the bottom, a larger space at the top or the bottom, always go for a slightly smaller space at the top rather than the bottom. And I'll tell you for why. It's because usually when people view cards, they're looking from the top down. And so whatever's at the top will always look slightly bigger than what's at the bottom. So if you put more of a space at the top than the bottom, it's going to make the space at the top look even bigger. That is why, I don't know if how many people know this, when you look at your door frames, your the hinges of the top of your frame are usually the space between the top of your door and the top of your hinge is shorter than the space between the bottom of, no, hold on, it's the other way around. Yes, it's shorter than the bottom. And also like things like the Colosseum, you know, columns, you know, the those amazing columns on buildings, they're usually like they're wider at the top because it's you see them further away, so therefore they have to be wider so that they look straight. Is that kind of type of thing? Yeah. Class 1 is lines and clusters, stamp one sheet wonder. Yes. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Good point. Yeah, class 1 is where I teach 2 stamped one sheet wonder styles. Yeah, it's called clusters and lines. And I'm happy to show you some pictures of that one. Right, before we go any further, I want to stick some nice embellishments onto here. So I'm going to just have a quick look for some pretty butterflies. Look at these are so nice. And probably fit 2 actually. Ah, now, he, she says you could fit 2, but you may have to decide which direction you're going to fold this in. So yeah, so I push that to that side and stick that on there when the card is closed. It's sticking out too much. So either I can just do it that way, or I can push it over to that side and stick it that way. This seems to be the natural way the card wants to go, so I'm going to go with that and just change my butterfly around. So stick that there like that, and then there's one of these little ones that can sit quite happily there. Now my thing I'm struggling with now is that I feel like it needs a little flower to sit on. Oh, I'm being so pedantic. Am I just being too fussy? I could just put some gems on. New year, new me. Go, Susan. New Year's always a nice opportunity to make changes, isn't it? Because it just feels right, doesn't it? Although, oh, just a word of encouragement. If you've got to January, this point in January, and you've gone, oh no, I didn't quite make the changes I wanted to. Oh dear, I've fallen back on my old habits. You know what? There's always the 1st of February. Or there's always the beginning of the week. Whatever week, you know, I treat Sundays at the beginning of the week, new week, but some people treat Mondays, you know. Or there's always tomorrow. That's the other attitude I have. There's always tomorrow. So just because you may not have achieved what you want to achieve 100%, the fact you tried and had a go and didn't quite make it is okay. Right, I've got these little pretty sequins here, which they keep wanting to pop off. Okay, stick it back on. Floss one in here as well. Come on, out you come. You're not staying in there, mate. Oop, no, what's this doing my hand? Right. Put some bellies on here just to make it a bit more of a focal point. Oop, move up. Up you go. Up you go. Oh, absolutely, Susan. Yeah, lots of love. It's a lot to go through. It is a lot. But be gentle on yourself. Don't be in a rush. Go at your own pace. But we're here to give you a little shovey if you want us to. Right, there we go. I think that's fine. Mackenzie, it's basically a full stamp sheet with a wondrous amount to cut up for cards. Yes, it is. Yeah. Hi, Miss Bob. There we go. So that's just an alternative then to that little card. What's the word I want? Template structure, whatever you want to call it. Oh, actually, you know what? While these are out, let's just bling-a-ding it up a little bit more. You know, as I can. There we go. So very different, obviously, to the tool one. But similar wee little technique. Nice ring on your right hand. Thank you so much. Yes, I bought it in a second-hand shop near my sister's house. And actually, I'm going to be there next weekend, so might just go and have a look, see if I can find another one. Right. So, any questions then about this template? Oh, where are we at? Nearly an hour. Okay. I could see snowflakes, hearts, stars, etc. on there. Yes, absolutely. And I love that it folds flat. Now, I'm not saying it will pass the postage test because it's quite a few layers of card, particularly on this one. Let me run it through my little thingy. So in the UK, our post has to be 2.5 centimeters. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, Bob, that's such a sweet thing to say. Changing a habit is the process over time and includes a stuttering beginning with many. Oh, yeah, I was going to do that differently. Oh, I love that. That should be written down as a quote. Oh, that one. I don't believe it. That one goes through as well. Wow. Okay. That is a bit of a surprise to me. I thought it wouldn't. I guess if you put sort of the heavier embellishments, you know, like the pearls and things, then you'd be having a bit of a problem. But there we go. All right. So yeah, so if you've just joined, don't go away. I'll show you what we worked on right at the beginning of the video, which you can go back and have a look at. But I've been working on the idea that every time I make some kind of fun fold like this, that I'm going to create a little drawn template for you, whether or not you are based, wherever you're based in the world, basically. I'll do a centimetres and inches version. Now, I'm going to convert this to inches because I know some of you like to use the UK cards, or you are in the UK, but you like to use inches. So I will now convert this one to that. So this would be 11 and, oh, should we say, what is that? 11 and, see, that's a bit tricky. I think you would have to cut that to 11 and a half. All right, so let's say 11 and a half inches by 4 and 1/8. Okay. Yep. And so this then would be, we'll call that 4 inch. No, we'll call that 3 and 7/8. 3 and 7/8. So that would be 11. So that would be 5 and 5.5. 5.5 inches. There we go. And then this one would be 5. Let's take that down to 5 1/4 then. So that would be, it's not exactly the same, but this will help you who love inches. 5 1/4 by, what's that, 3 3/4, and score every, that one, what is that, 1 2 3, oh my days, that is complicated though. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, every 9/16. I mean, you know, this is when it's just silly to do it in, oh, sorry, not, no, I did that wrong. It's 9/16. I was writing that wrong. Here we go. Oh, Joanna, lots of love. Where's Janine? Oh, she might be busy. Yeah. I had an idea. Stamp a butterfly inside a laminating pouch, sprinkle some glitter, laminate, then die cut. That would make a magnificent embellishment for this card. Oh, what's the spacing between the score lines? Oh, 2 centimeters. So, so these are 2 centimeters here. Oh, sorry, no. Oh, yo. Sorry, no. I've just realised I measured that wrong. It's not this at all, because that's the shorter measurement. This is the measurement I need, this one here. Sorry. So between here is 2 centimeters. Between here and here is 1.5. So in inches, that would be 1 and, oh, that'd be 3/4. That's easy. 3/4 inches, right in between. But for the inches one, what did we say? That was 3/4 as well, wasn't it? Yeah. And there is going to be a shorter one here. That's 1/2 inch. All right, does that help? Had this saying sent to me today: life is fragile, handle with prayer. Oh, that's nice as well. Okay, any other questions? I think that's everything. All right. So what I'll be doing is, if this is now approved, officially approved by you guys, I will take a photograph of this, and the other one, this one here, and I'll pop that with a picture of the card, and I'll pop that on a blog. Inching ahead, yes. Another, oh, arty grungy style. Okay. Oh, right. So while I'm here, let me just look at my diary for possible dates then for the Easter thing. How does the 23rd of February look for an Easter one? The masked cross card, yep. '23rd, yeah. Every day is new beginnings, yeah. I'm going to write down that little week quote from you guys. Oh, this is a nice quote as well. Find the beauty in everyday moments. Oh, I better, hold on, I better write a new list. I was going to do some. All right, so Lisa. Right, I'm just taking names, but I will go and create the class in a minute. So do go check back and say half an hour, and you'll be able to book it if you want to book it now. But you can wait a bit if you want. The punch outs look like the Brilliant Butterfly Brilliance. They're similar. They're a little bit bigger, and there are more butterflies that are sort of sideways looking. Whereas the Butterfly Brilliance ones were all kind of like top down one. Yeah. So I've got Lisa, Glenna, lovely. Oh, the classes are on Zoom, Kenzie. Yeah. And so basically what happens is, once you book the class with this new system that I'm using on bookwhen.com, you book the class and the Zoom link will automatically get sent to you. Now what I'm also doing is, I will tell you what you need. I try and tell people what they need before they book on, but also this booking system allows me to put a list of things that you'll need also in that email that you get sent after you book. So that's pretty cool. Arty grungy style. Oh, and then a class. So who would be interested in doing class 1? Because I wanted to pop one of those in my diary. I could probably fit that in on Tuesday the 30th of January. So class 1, who would be interested in doing Kenzie? I'm in the UK though, remember. Oh, you're welcome, Kim. So I've just gone and sat down again. 23rd of April. Right, okay. Right, so that would be the masked cross card. Right, Vicky, is Vicky still on? Vicky, would you prefer it if I did it at 8 o'clock? I'm just reading comments. I'm going to tentatively say 8 o'clock for that one, because if the South Pacific ladies are joining in, it's a bit, yeah. Right, what's that called? Masked cross. So for that one, you definitely need some masking paper. You also need a variety of floral and leaf stamps for that. No, I don't send anything out, Kenzie. Yeah, no, I don't send anything out. You need to have the supplies yourself. Eight, says Vicky. Yeah, I thought you would. All right, so 8 p.m. for that one then. So if I do I'm just going to go ahead and schedule that one for the 30th, and I'll just see how many people get logged on. I usually say I've got to have a minimum of 6 for it to go ahead, but then I won't know how many. I don't know who's interested until I put it out there. So I think I'll just put it out there. And I'll pop some pictures of what you'll be making, custard and lines, and also the list of what you need for it. So let me just show you what that looks like, that class. Actually, I could go through some of my class samples and then you can let me know. Hi Sandy, we're talking about a new class. Are you free on the 23rd of February for the masked cross one, if you're interested in that one? Not everyone's interested in doing that. Right, hold on. Oh! Where have they gone? I've not put them back. Oh, there we go. Right. So in clusters and lines, you will learn how to do a whole sheet of stamping like this one. And then that's what you'll learn in lines. So in clusters, you need to have a 2-inch flower and a variety of different leaves and maybe some smaller flowers. And then for doing the line section of the class, you need a smaller flower about 1 inch wide, and again a variety of leaves and flowers. So that's obviously one way that I've taught that one. And so if I show you over the months that I've been teaching this class, or years, you know, there's lots of different formulations that I've done of that, but you can see how the structure is very similar. So it doesn't matter if you've got Stampin' Up! Stamps that are ancient, you know, if you've got non-Stampin' Up stamps, as long as they are floral and leaves, you'll be able to take this class. So there we go. These are all the different. Oh, you can do it with pine cones as well. You don't necessarily have to have flowers. You can do pine cones. So that's the clusters and lines class. Number one. And then if you'd like to do the wreath class, this is where I haven't scheduled it yet, Vicky. I stamped all those. Yes. And lots of people in here have done clusters and lines, so they can tell you what they think of it. You don't want me to tell you what I think of it. 1 hour and 12 minutes of instructive video is more than an hour, probably. Oh, unless you're sharing something. And so yeah, so this is the so I mean the results all come down to you in terms of, you know, what stamps you've got, but that's the wreath one. I think I'm going to start changing. I think I might not number them so much anymore because I've had to change. Oh, who's done the hashtag and try cluster? That's the hashtag one. And then this is the. So try cluster is where we come in from 3 points. So that's that one. No, sorry, this is the class is available when I schedule them. But if you watch some of my older videos, like this class came about because I actually stamped this in a video and people loved it so much that I created a class around it. So yeah. So sometimes what happens is I'll do a live and then people go, please do a class on that, and then I do. Oh, now please can you contact me then if you were interested in doing the shimmer one, the shimmer cardstock one, because I know we don't sell it anymore, but a lot of you do have it stood in your stash. And I'll tell you what the 2 techniques you will do. You'll do this technique, which is kind of like a splattery splotchy technique, and then this, which I call like a double stamping technique. All right. So please let me know about that one. The links will. I haven't created that. Well, as soon as I stop being live, Kenzie, give me 10 minutes and I will pop it in under where Martina has just shared with you. So you need to go to bookwen.com/artfulstampin. Let me just see if I can go and grab the link. Dashboard. Oh, my profile. Why does it make it easy for me to? Anyway, it's yeah. I think if you follow that link that Martina just sent you. You should get to it. All right, let's see if there's any other comments. I love the shimmer class. Either way, Kim, yeah. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Oh, I can hear that owl back again. The other night, about 1 o'clock in the morning, I heard an owl. And a friend of mine in Welshpool said the other night she heard it at 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, sorry, in the shimmer white one as well, we'll probably do this technique, the strippage technique. So that's 3 things. Let me just put those all in one file. So this drippy technique, we'll do that as well. So let me know, anyone who's interested in doing the shimmer one. I think Mindy was. Mindy's not watching at the moment, but I think Mindy was interested in doing that one. So, right, I'm just going to pop this down because I need to look at my diary. Oh, my love, I definitely need the little pixies to come and tidy up today. Oh, there was this funniest little article on the BBC about a guy who filmed, he found a mouse had been tidying up his garage. Oh, it's the cutest thing. So this little mouse was, yeah, he, yeah, he was just like tidying up. Like he'd leave stuff outside of the box, and every morning he'd come back and the mouse would put all the stuff back in the box. So he decided to leave a camera, and it turned out this little mouse was like going, I can hear it now. I could go to the door actually, because I've got my mic, haven't I? See if I can capture it. Oh, for all you owl fans, that was a bit of a treat, wasn't it? Did you hear all that? Did you guys hear the owl? I went to my door. Ain't no mouse cute that would my that would freak you out. Susan saw it. You saw it on your knees last night. Oh, that's brilliant. Well, what we do is let the owl loose on it, and then the owl will soon get the mouse, wouldn't it? Oh. Right. You didn't hear it. Oh, my days. So I went to my door. You guys didn't hear that. I went to my door, and is my mic just not? Yeah, my mic is working. Literally, there's one on my house calling to one in the woods. Oh, what a shame. You didn't hear it. Oh, they're like literally talking to each other. I've got one on my house and one in the woods, and that is so cute. All right, I'm going. I'm sorry. This has gone on far too long. Me gibber jabbering to you guys. So I'm just going to say bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been fun. I hope you found that useful. I will try and streamline it a little bit more next time. Obviously, it's the first time me doing this. I could possibly well, no, I was going to say I could draw it out before I go live, but that can only work if I actually do the design before I go live. So sometimes that will happen where I'm using a pre-existing template, and so I'd like to have a bit of a collection. I'm ignoring you, Shaz. It's getting to be mating season for owls. Oh, there we go. Well, I tell you what, these two are going to be a happy couple because they're chatting to each other like anything out there. My first cat used to bring mice home, and oh. Right, yes, catch the replay. All right, my lovelies, thank you so much for joining me, and I am going to go and schedule those 2 classes, possibly 3. If hold on, what was it for? Shimmer. I'm going to call it the Shimmer Card class, Glenna. Just going to call it that. I possibly will schedule that, but I will get in touch with Lisa and Vicky in the South Pacific who are on here now and see if they're interested, because then I might have to schedule it for a Friday. But if they're not interested, then I can do it midweek. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for putting up with me. and hope to see you again soon. Please come back. I hope you can see from the chat that we're a happy, welcoming little community of crafters, and we love to see you chatting away, whether we've not seen you for a while, or whether you're new or you've been with me for years and years. It's absolutely fine. Really great